Times are tough in Paldea. Interest rates are rising, sandwiches are no longer affordable, and people are forced to work more jobs. But when times get tough, Larry does what Larrys do. A new transfer student by the name of Vass recently set off on an adventure to investigate this suspicious economic disaster along with his unique Charmander, who was definitely not cloned in a horrific science experiment. So, the first order of business when moving somewhere new is to introduce yourself to your neighbors. Everyone say hi to Larry Mona. I swear I know this girl from somewhere. But before I can connect the dots, the two run off to the beach for their first battle together. Yeah, she kicked my ass. She was definitely lying about this being her first battle. Well, never mind that, because the two venture on to Poco Path where they make a pact to meet at the top of the lighthouse later. I do some training nearby, give an iguana a sandwich, and then make my way up to meet her. Atop the lighthouse, Larry Mona won't stop going on about how I need to challenge gyms and train and become a champion. Does she know how much this shit cost? Along the next route, I picked up an Azrael to accompany my team, and our rival stopped us to introduce us to two crucial services offered in Paldea, Larry Heal and Larry Mart. And just like a silly little YouTube channel that you are definitely subscribed to, I get to enjoy these services for free thanks to the power of ads. Just before I make it to town, I get jumped again. This time she's literally cheating, but God, is she so familiar. We make it to school, a few weeks pass by, me and Larry Mona are besties now, and with my friend cheering me on, I head straight over to Cortando to get that first gym badge. On my way, I catch a Mareep, which I evolve into a Flaffy and make my way into the first gym lobby. I have a quick chat with the lobby staffer, and apparently before I can battle the leader, I need to move some of their supplies around for them. Honestly, seems like something an employee should do, but I mean, sure. I finally finish my shift and head over to the battle arena where I face off against gym leader Carrie. She has an unconventional team, but Thunderwave did work here, helping me secure the KO on Dunsparce and Squirvet with Terra Electric Flaffy. Then Azrael cleans up Terrabug Teddiursa with Bounce, granting me a new Charmeleon. Oh, that's sick! He actually still has the pattern when he's evolved. And my first badge of the journey. You know, while I felt accomplished, I couldn't help but wonder on my way to Artisan, why did I have to pay to challenge the gym? Just to end up doing more work for the gym leader. But before I could make any sense of it, I got caught up in the middle of some training, which led to my Azrael becoming an Azumarill, and you'll never guess who I ran into. How do you keep finding me? Surprise, surprise, Larry Mona tells us to challenge the gym, and oh, would you look at that, someone's livestock is scattered around town. Time to ask this 10-year-old to round them up. After what felt like an hour, I brought back 10 Sunflora to the lobby staffer, who was kind enough to inform me they will now accept payment for me to challenge the gym leader. Introducing the grass leader, Barry. Okay, I've definitely seen this guy before. His team building is cracked. I mean, Smoliv, Doliv, and Arboliva? Whatever will I do to win? Press bounce 3 times? I actually only used bounce twice and then switched into Charmeleon to finish off. After paying for my photo souvenir, I met a guy in the lobby by the name of Harry, who explained to me that he was part of something called the League of Larry, or the Larry League, if you will. I'm not really sure what he meant by that, but it sounded provocative. Heading north, I made my way for the shining town of Levincia, but not before I caught this Sandygast and did some training along the way. I hit a quick stop at Larry Heal and then went to check out the gym lobby, and okay, this is getting suspicious. Larry Mona and I finish our skirmish at the arena, and I'm feeling ready to take on the next gym. But get this, in Levincia, the gym challenge is apparently finding geriatrics that have escaped their nursing homes, all while being live streamed. Does nobody have a problem with this? Regardless, I am contractually obligated to introduce you to Lariono, and she takes no time to introduce us to her Meloetta. At first, this had me worried, but 2 Aquatails brought it down low, and Sandygast finished it with Sandtomb. Smeargle went down to Paralysis and Thundershock, Porygon went down to Azumarill, and then Lariono's ace Porygon 2 comes in. Fortunate for me though, it only knew electric and normal attacks, so it couldn't even hit Sandygast, but I was grateful this stream was over, even though someone did manage to get photographic evidence of our involvement. As I was trying to quietly escape, a mysterious girl named Larita made an appearance to make sure I submitted my entrance fee, like, we get it. This stuff costs money. To take my mind off things, I head to the relaxing city of Cascarrafa. Just look at this, a moat, Fountains, waterfalls, this dude running into me and his office worker is forcing me to deliver his fucking wallet on foot? No! So I'm running through the desert on foot to deliver this guy's wallet now, but at least it was an excuse to grab a reller. On the path, I see the man again, and yeah, dropping his wallet is starting to make a bit of sense. But he definitely isn't as dumb as he looks, as the guy manages to get me to go to an auction for him and buy $400 seaweed. Obviously, he just leaves, telling me to meet him back in Cascarrafa. Yeah, sure, buddy. I'll get on that brisk 20-mile walk back. So I'm on a brisk 20-mile walk back, but at least it was an excuse to evolve my reller into a Rabska. Upon my return, I pay my fee, and let me tell you, Gym Leader Corey has the best intro of any trainer. Wait. He led with Azurill, but my Sandygast with water compaction took advantage of boosting its defenses. Swablu was a quick sweep with Flaffy, and while Flaffy went down to his Terra Water Snorlax, Azumarill's charm took care of the rest. And that's badge 4. At this point, I'm convinced the gyms relay my exact GPS location to this girl, so I skip the chat and just push on to the town of Medali. Medali is a small town known for its quiet atmosphere and fantastic food, so I decide to hit up the local eatery. They asked me for my order, but there was like a million options, so I just picked something random. I don't know, a medium serving of extra crispy rice balls with lemon. And I shit you not, as I'm about to take my seat, the fucking place turns into a battle stadium. Now, normally this would piss me off, but the dude who wanted to battle me was just some random guy that was eating here. I've never met this man in my life. But just because no one knows who he is, doesn't mean he doesn't know how to fight. His Komala had a nasty combo of Sucker Punch and Yawn, but my Sandygast managed to get around this with Sand Tomb and Sand Attack. Next up was Dunsparce, so I brought in my newly evolved Ampharos. This allows me to get a Thunder Wave off and then Volt Switch out into Azumarill, where I take it down with Play Rough. Last up was Terra Normal Wigglytuff, and I cheesed this one with Paralysis, Smoke Screens. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but I did win, and the guy even bought me a meal after. Back in the gym lobby, I ran into Larimona and Larita, and you know, I never realized the resemblance until now. Are they related? Anyway, I begin to ascend Glaseado Mountain in search of Montenevera, and along the way, my Charmeleon finally evolves into a Charizard. Also, I finally replaced Oinglone, who I avoided talking about up until this point, with a Gardevoir. In Montenevera, Larry Heel told me about a famous rapper who is performing soon, so I decided to go and buy a ticket in the lobby. After paying, I was told I would be the opening act for the show. Now, I know I've been forced to do a lot of work for these people, but this is starting to get a bit ridiculous. But at least I didn't need to sing, just beat 3 random audience members in double battles. From here, I paid another fee, which allowed me to take on Gym Leader Rory. Line. What are we doing here? They had a strange team of Tandemaus, Zangoose, Grafaiai, and Terraghost Persian, and Persian kept using Discharge, which was a little annoying, but overall this was an easier badge. Harry mentioned we should head to Alfornada next, with the fastest way being by the coast. I trained along the way, which allowed my Sandygast to finally evolve into Palisand, and I must say, the team is finally looking pretty solid. I make it through the caves, arrive at the scenic town, and battle my rival who just so happened to be waiting here for the past hour and a half for no one in particular. From here, I decided to skip out on making pottery and just get straight to the gym battle so I could leave. Apparently, I had to take a mandatory anger management class first. I mean, I'm not really sure how beating up a 7-year-old and a 70-year-old, then making silly faces, is supposed to help with anger management, but I did feel a little better after. With my certificate of participation, I moved on to challenge the beautiful gym leader, Terry. Her normal psychic types were powerful, leading us to trading knockouts. She KOs my Azumarill, but then I KO her Girafarig. She follows up using Indeedee to finish my Charizard, but Ampharos comes in to clap back. Finally, I bring in Gardevoir and begin to set up Calm Minds against Oranguru. With 2 Dazzling Gleams, I take it out and move on to her Terra Psychic Farigiraf. But my boosted special defense along with Life Dew allowed me to heal up and clutch out the win. And this meant I had only 1 gym left before I could take on the Larry League and possibly learn more about this mysterious council. I made my way back to the mountain where I was told I could find the ice gym. Here I was expecting, I don't know, maybe move some boxes or maybe shovel some snow. No. Before challenging this gym leader, you must compete in the Olympic Games. I have no words. After possibly the worst slalom performance ever known to man, I report back to the cold arena where I meet the final gym leader, Gary. Once again, this gym was pretty challenging. Gary's Weird Ear with Intimidate, Pyroar with Liquidation and Calm Mind, and Terra Ice Blissey all managed to take KOs on my team. But Charizard came in to finish the last Pokemon of my last gym battle. And with all 8 gym badges, it was finally time to see what this Larry League was all about. I took one last moment to visit Larry Heel and Larry Mart before I made my way to the front of the building where Larita was waiting for me. Honestly, she didn't seem very thrilled I was here, and this made more sense later. Inside, I met a person named Lariku who asked me a bunch of random questions, and I need to come clean here. While collecting this footage, I failed this test 8 times. What is wrong with me? But enough of that. I'm here to learn why this is called the Larry League, and it starts with a battle with Lariku. They lead with Porygon 2, which I easily take out with Superpower on my Azumarill. I bring in Ampharos against their Dunsparce, where I can tank an Earthquake to get a Thunder Wave off, but go down to a Future Sight from Porygon. The Dunsparce takes out Azumarill, and I send in Gardevoir to take the KO. Slacking was the perfect opportunity to bring in Palossand to use Sand Tomb and Mud Slap to reduce its accuracy, which then allows me to bring in Rabsca to set up Light Screen and then finish it off. Oinkologne goes down quickly to Flamethrower, and in comes their ace Ursaluna. Thanks to using Revival Blessing earlier, I can use Azumarill with Charm to lower its attack, giving Rabsca the opportunity to finish this battle. And Lariku's defeat started to reveal some of the inner machinations of the Larry League.
Huh?
Next up was a girl by the name of Perry. She leads with a Chinchino, which I take out with Palossand, but then goes down to her Furret. Luckily, Charizard cleans up both Furret and Smeargle, but her Ditto comes in to use my own Pokemon against me. Ampharos KOs her Ditto, and Perry's ace Terra Steel Wigglytuff comes in. It apparently has access to Gigaton Hammer, which was a problem, but I am very thankful I kept Charm on Azumarill. That's 2 out of 4. Up third was actually the random guy from the restaurant. You know, after seeing this guy, I'm starting to think maybe there isn't anything fishy going on at the Larry League. Anyway, we had a short chat, exchanged some moves, and overall, it was a great experience. Last up was actually the guy I met near the beginning of my journey, Harry. He leads with Mousehold, and I take it out with Flamethrower, but he comes back swinging with Eviolite Ursaring. Luckily, Azumarill is up to the task, and I swap into Rabsca as Porygon Z comes in. This lets me set up a Light Screen and chip it down with Psychic. Arboliva is next, and he tries to outlast me with Seed Sower and Leech Seed, but Rabsca has a stab super effective Bug Buzz. His ace is Terra Dragon Cyclizar, and I see a path to victory by using Revival Blessing on Charizard, who has Dragon Breath. And with the Elite Four defeated, it was time to prepare for the champion fight. I thanked the trainers for their battles, and for the first time noticed that this random Larry guy almost looked related to the other 4. But there was no time for small talk as I headed up to face the strongest trainer in all of Paldea, Larita. But I wasn't ready for the challenge I was about to face. She sends in a shiny Terapagos that is level 100. Turn after turn, she feigns every single Pokemon in my party until I am left facing her down the same way I started this adventure, with my starter. She finishes me off with a critical quick attack and takes a moment to gloat in my face. Upset by my defeat, I went back home to vent to my mom, and that's where it finally hit me. It was Larry who pushed me to try and become a champion. And it was Larry collecting every dollar I spent along the way. And the reason my neighbor looked familiar all that time ago was because everyone was Larry.